A well-planned out, organized game script can have many benefits, from clear direction to your game day staff to great fan engagement. However, a really poorly executed game day script might go from bringing your vision to life to chaos and confusion very quickly. In this video, I'm going to show you how I build scripts for professional sports teams. I'm also going to show you some of the things that I do, some of the tips and tricks to eliminate some of those avoidable mistakes. Alright, so let's dive straight into this. This is called ShoFlo. This is a scripting software. Now, you don't have to use this. You can use Microsoft Excel, you can use Google Sheets, and I have personally used both to do game scripts. Whatever gets the job done. I just use ShoFlo because my team has access to it, and it works pretty well for what I need. It also has some capabilities that can help with the live show rundown during the games, but not 100% necessary, and you definitely don't need to do it. But what I'm going to say is I will show you on this, and it's completely translatable to however you want to script your show. So the first thing I would do if I'm going to set up a new show like this is I will look at what times do I know for sure. So my pregame, what times do I know for sure? Halftime, how much time do I have? What's coming up? What's the big thing? That's the kind of the stuff I'm looking at first. So you probably going to know your doors open. So if I just go doors open and we do it at, let's say it's a 7:30 p.m. game, so our doors open at 6:30. That would seem logical for this team. We know that. We also, let's say we know warm-ups. Warm-ups, they can start at 6:50 p.m. And I'm just going to put into our private notes for now. We will go and make these times perfect later. And we also know, let's say warm-ups begin, and we will say we know warm-ups end. Let's say warm-ups are 30 minutes long, so a 7:20 p.m. warm-up time. Let's also say we know when our players are coming out. So let's say our players come out at 7:30 on the dot. So player introductions. And this happens at 7:30 p.m. And we have a national anthem that's supposed to happen every time at 7:32 p.m. 7:32 p.m. And let's say we know kickoff is at let's do a coin toss as well. Coin toss seems reasonable that this would be at 7:34 p.m. And let's say we have a kickoff at 7:36 p.m. Let's just throw these times out there. We can make this work. Okay, so right now, the way ShoFlo works, and again, you can set this up with Excel or Sheets with some formulas, but the way that ShoFlo works is we have the start time, we have a clock time. So let's say it was 7:36. So let's say it's a 66-minute clock, which would take us down. If you add the hour, 7:30 plus 6 minutes, we get 7:36, and then a duration. So how long is everything? I'm not going to put a duration on for doors open because it's just more of a awareness piece. It's not an actual item, just more of a heading. And you can put whatever you want. Production notes, I use these sometimes, and I'll kind of explain more of exactly what I use them for. Video board, what's on the video board, what's playing from the audio, and the PA script. Now, I do also have a few other categories for my team. We have on the video board what is called wings. So we have our wing areas, which is just between our 16:9. We have an ultra wide video board. So we have 2 areas. I'll have a wings category. I don't use a fascia or ribbon board or field board categories because we don't have a ton of takeovers at my team. If all of your items did, you might want to schedule that in as well. But it's not for everything from us. Ours is mostly just the sponsor pieces. So when it's not in the sponsor rotation, there's a takeover, like let's say player intros. We do have those for our teams with the LED takeover, so we can put it into our production notes here. Let's say it's LEDs, and you can specify what if you want. Doesn't really matter. Of course, I've gone through what each of these are, and you might want to add something if you're in an arena, like lighting or other cues as assigned, and your show is going to be completely different than mine, and especially completely different than this example script. So be sure to do this however you want and however best suits the needs of your team, okay? I'm just going to show you how I do it and show you some tips along the way. So right now we know we have these items for sure. This is what I already know. This is what's in our league manual of our hypothetical league here. So this is what we have. Okay, so then I now need to get to our times. So we know what the timing is, so we can fill it. We can do a let's do a welcome PA, and we will move it right after doors open. Maybe we want a little bit of music first, just the vibe for when people are coming into the stadium. Music, and I call it music and matchup, and that's our typical matchup graphics, team versus team, or if you don't have that, maybe you're a small team that doesn't update the graphics for every game. Maybe it's just your own logo loop. That's fine too. That is fine too. So maybe we have that, and we're running this for 15 minutes. You're giving fans time to get into the game before they get there, and so you'll do. Oops. I did 15 seconds. It should be 15 minutes of music, and you're just letting people come in with some good vibes. So music and matchup, we will go, let's say for audio, we'll just go music from DJ. You can do something like that if you want. You can just do music. It really, again, depends on your setup and how many people are operating the boards, how many different music could be, some arenas have organists, some arenas have live bands. Music, if you just have a DJ, they'll know music is them. But let's get to our welcome. And for our PAs, I like to also say who is doing it, because you might have multiple hosts. You might have, we have a host, play-by-play, PA announcer. So let's just make this could be a male or female name. Let's just call it Jesse. And Jesse will be orange from here on out. So one other thing I like to do is for these ones that are more of headings, as I was saying, I like to just kind of color code them in something that stands out. So we know warm-ups begin. We know when warm-ups end. We know these timings, but I don't want to do them there because it's just different. Like these are stuff that will never change. They're more line items. They're more, like I said, headings than anything. Where these are actual items that will have PA announcements or something on the video board happening. Where these warm up end, I'll put something in between these. Like, let's just duplicate this. And this is what I mean. So you might have, let's say if we did have the full 30 minutes of music and matchup, not exciting, but you could do something like that. But maybe we want to also do a player shots, and maybe we have some cool graphics that have stats on them. So I'll just go into kind of what I do for video board here. So in this case, I will put in who I want to shoot. And for me, when I put cams, that means all cams. If I wanted a specific camera, you can do camera 1, 2, 3, whatever you have. And let's say it was like camera 4, a wireless camera that I want to shoot host. You can do something like that. But for this one, for warm-ups, I'll just do all cams. And we can do players plus fans. Maybe we mix in a few fan shots as well. That works. And then on the stats part, you might run stats from like a Ross Video Expressions, or you might run it from a Chiron or something that you can put up the graphics. You can overlay it, and so let's just say we will call it CG, and we will do player stats, and there might be, if it's a Ross Video Expression, you'll have a take ID, which let's just say it's 9001 to 9099. You might have a player number 1, you might have a player number 99. They'll know those take IDs for each player, and they can also help you see those. So I like to color code certain things. I don't like to go crazy with it because I don't want to start to look like a rainbow and get a little overwhelming, but we can start color coding a few things, and just so that specific things stand out. Now, again, I don't want everything to stand out, because once it's like anything, once everything's standing out, nothing's standing out. So I use it, my discretion at it, but I will definitely color code certain things. I don't like to do, big line items like this. I see that in a lot of scripts. I don't personally like to do it. I like a clean script with a little bit of color. To me, this is what I do when in between games. When I think something's coming out, I'll color in red, and when I get confirmation, I'll delete it. If I'm unsure or needs to be changed, like I'm waiting on a name or something like that, or a completely new read, I'll color it in yellow. Just maybe I haven't received a video or graphic yet. Usually it's more for like I'm unsure. And if it's like I'm missing a graphic, maybe in the video board, I might take this and highlight these, and then it just shows me something's here. So what is this? Oh, I must not have those stats yet. It's just a good reminder. So anyways, I will color this how it was, and I think we have this one here maybe. Yeah, so that's kind of what I'll do there. But so we have, you'll see where I made the mistake here, my timing, because I haven't gone back and actually put the timings out yet. So player shot and stats is 30 minutes, but also music and matchup is 30 minutes. So that's 60 minutes, a full hour, but our warm up is only 30 minutes. So let's do 15 minutes of these, and then we'll do 2 minutes, little break for our camera guys, and then maybe we will have a, or maybe our host will do a little, I don't know, little sponsor read. And that will just take, that'll be a quick one, just take 30 seconds. So we'll need to get the PA and where everything's coming from. And as you'll see, I haven't filled in everything yet. We can. So matchup, let's say we use a Daktronic system. So I just call things DAC. You can call it Daktronics if you want, show control, whatever you want, just so the operator knows where things are coming from. And the music, I'm just going to change this. Move that over, production notes. So production notes, what I might do here is welcome PA. If it's a live hit, maybe it's from somewhere. So section 120. We'll say from section 120. And when I was saying earlier about the specific camera, maybe here I'll do cam. I think we said cam 4 was a wireless camera. So cam 4 can take that hit. And maybe we also want a CG lower third. We want to font our host so that when it welcomes, we'll see the host, who the host is, and we will see their name on the screen. So name key and maybe take ID, whatever it is. We said 9001, 2000, maybe this is 8001. Okay. Again, you would get this number off of your expressions if you're using it, or basically I like to say what things are, just so that there's not a lot of confusion. And we can color code Daktronics as well, or color highlight, and then what it is. So nothing's really needed here. Here we can just say, welcome to tonight's game. It's our team taking on the away team. Something like that. Obviously, much better would be good. You can go into, scores from the last game, where both teams are in the standings, that kind of thing. You can just welcome people and make it more of a hype. Try and get that crowd going or you can say it is the away team taking on our hometown blank 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 name team. And you get your announcer to crank your hometown team, and you should get a nice little pop from the crowd. All right, so we got a section there, and here we had our music going. And let's do, actually what I like to do when I have reads underneath is call for music bed. And music bed to me is just a track that's lighter underneath, not your heaviest, not your stuff with a lot of lyrics. And actually our DJ has something in the software. He can hit a button and it'll actually take the lyrics right out. It'll just be kind of the instrumental, which is nice because you don't really want a voice to compete against songs with lyrics. If you're hearing lyrics and you're also hearing the host, they take away from each other a little bit. So we also might want to do host mic, and now our sound audio operator knows, okay, so we're still going to have music. He wants a bed, so we're going to take that down a little bit, and our host will be up. It's just a cue for him so that he knows. And if he also has a script that has the PA script as well, I know sometimes people will just print one a PA script separately for the host and stuff, and they just give a little rundown sheet. I like to give mine with PA scripts so that our audio guys can follow along, camera guys can, our director can help assist with the camera guys, stuff like that. So I like to give everybody a script with the PA, but it's not necessary for everybody. Like, there's definitely not, the replay guys don't need to have a script unless in one of your promotions it's really required. But so I make two scripts, one with PA, one without PA, and the people that need each, we can give them a copy of that. But yeah, anyways, so we're getting there with the script. So we're up to kickoff. Obviously we never finished this. Maybe we will do our host will go into stadium rules, fan behavior stuff. So the duration of this, let's call it 30 seconds. We know that reads not, but let's just call it that. Here are the rules. Yeah, so maybe in here we don't even need our lower third. Maybe here we just have a graphic over top, and it's our rules graphic. And maybe this take ID is from somewhere different, so maybe this is, 6,201. Sure. All right, so we still have our music bed, we still have the host mic, we got a PA. It doesn't matter. There's no camera, so it doesn't really matter. And then from there, that is all the PAs. I wish that would be nice for these teams if they didn't have to kill everybody with all these extra PAs, and we just let them relax with some music. So we are at when I copied this block here, it also copied the duration. That's why we have a 15-minute block, which puts us way over. So we are 11 minutes over. So 15 minus 11, we know is 4. So we do 4 minutes of this, and we'll go back to our matchup, and it'll be the DJ taking over, and that gets us to 650. And here I might even want to specify warm-up music, because the players might have a specific playlist. Yeah, that kind of thing. So yeah, we'll do that. Music matchup, same thing. Electronics. Basically, we just want to make sure that all these columns are filled as much as we need. Again, production notes up here. You may or may not need that for some of them. It's just nice to have an extra spot where you can give a little bit of information to your crew for stuff that may be out of the ordinary, or even if it's not out of the ordinary, just where it's going to be, or if you have a accompanying graphic that you don't usually have with certain things, just to give a little bit of an explanation, or yeah, anyways, that's how I use it. So where are we here? So 7:07:30, but this is supposed to end at 7:20, so we need some more fill. Let's say let's just go with some fan cam, and just to get through this. Obviously, you can just keep adding reads. You can add more cool items and exciting items. But for now, we're just going to kind of keep it loose. And yeah, oops. So 12 minutes. I guess that's to 7:20. War almost ends. Players are coming off the field. And yeah, we need something else to get us to our player introductions. Again, there's so many things that we can add here. This isn't how my normal script looks. It's not just blocks of 20 minutes of music and 10 minutes of fan cam. There's so many things we can add here. But just for the sake of showing you a couple of things along the way, just going to add 10-minute block of music here to get to our player introduction. Player introduction, let's say we get to let's who's going to announce it? So let's say we have somebody different that announces it, not our in-game host. It's a PA announcer, and their name can be I don't know, Larry. And Larry is we'll mark him in green. And then as you can see, we have a few things color-coded, but that's also going to mean that we want to go, instead of host mic, we want to go PA. And that will tell our audio guy who is talking. So he knows our PA guy is talking. Now, we also going to have some sound underneath. So, music bed. But in this case, the music bed isn't really a bed because it's that player introduction. It's going to be that loud piece. It's kind of a bed. The audio guy can mix it as best he can. So let's call this 2 minutes. Let's say it takes 2 minutes for them to do this. Brings us to 7:32, which is our national anthem. National anthem takes, let's say, 2 minutes, and we can introduce them. We can introduce them with Larry as well if we want. Fans, please rise if you're able, and please welcome Ross Clark for the singing of the national anthem. Again, better scripting available for sure. I'm not saying this is the best. It's not. So we'll do that. And yeah, you might even want to, this is the wrong spot. So you might even want to do something like this. We'll go Larry, National Anthem Introduction. And then we might just do a national anthem. And then this would be wireless mic, potentially. And this might be a PA mic. No music needed, maybe. And then we'll get to our national anthem. So let's say that this is actually 15 seconds. And then we can get a little more accurate with our times when we break it up like this, as long as you revise your times as you need. What I would recommend is actually looking through and seeing where your biggest adjustments are needed. If you can get a copy of your video board feed, you can then see how long each item takes. You'll start being able to realize how long things take, and that will be quite helpful to you in order to get that timing precise. Like if you're doing a fly pass or something and you need to have it down to the second so that they're hitting on that final note, it's very handy to know exactly how long the anthem singer is going to take. You can time it with your phone. You can time the read to the anthem singer in your phone in the pregame. Before doors open, if you have a little sound check. And then you can hit that. You can actually hit that precise as long as you can hit your player introduction, so you know when it's supposed to end. So yeah, you can really time things right once you get into the weeds of it all and really start fine tuning it. All right, so player introductions. Let's call this cameras. Let's say there's no graphics, just cameras. And we want all cams, so we'll put cams there. National Anthem introduction. Let's say cam 4, so wireless on the singer. And we also, let's say we want lower third, singer, and we'll go CG. What color do we have? A blue. Wrong blue, but that's okay. Here we'll go cams. We'll already have a whole sequence planned. We won't have to write that in. Yeah, then we go coin toss. Maybe here we need a ref mic. And here, let's go to our camera. Maybe camera 5 is a wireless as well. And camera 4 is already at the singer. We don't need him to go running. We'll choose a different wireless if that's available to us. And let's say that this actually takes 1 minute. And we still have 1 minute to go to get to that 7:36. We're at 7:35 right now. So we can just duplicate this. And why don't we call this... why don't we go with a little hype video? That's 1 minute long. And this can come from Daktronics. And what I like to do as well is actually name the files. So I'm just going to remove this highlight. And why don't we say pre-kickoff hype _ July 10. July 10.mp4. All right. Now, if it's Daktronics, like our show control, they might just have a button that's called pre-kickoff hype, and that's fine too. As long as they're clear on what they're supposed to click and when they're supposed to click it. That's the biggest thing. And then for something like this, I might have SOT, which is short for sound on tape. Now, our audio guy knows that our sound is coming from Daktronics. And that's what he's going to take. And then we're going to get to kickoff, 7:36. Boom, should it kick off perfectly. All right, so then let's go quarter one. I like to add stuff right now into our replay sponsors. You can add a little drop-in column if you have some drop-ins to add in the first quarter. Items that aren't going to go into your TV timeouts. You just got quick little rapid fires. Keep them out of your TV timeouts, perhaps, or your show's too packed. You can add your drop-ins right here as well. Or you can just do something like this. We'll schedule a break right here. And let's say our quarters are 15 minutes long, and we have 4 breaks. So we have, let's go 2 minutes, not 2 seconds. We'll go 2 minutes. And what I like to do as well is build a little over-under. Q1-1, first quarter, first break, over/under. And then what this does is this tells us how much time we actually have how much time is left. So when we add an item, so let's say it's a game day sponsor read. And who's reading that? What's our host? Jesse. Let's say Jesse's reading this. Jesse's in orange. Game day sponsor read. We don't need the times because we don't know when the quarter's going to be. Let's say this is let's say it's a 30-second read. This over-under here tells me I still have 1:30 left. So let's just color these a little different so that we can clearly see what I'm trying to tell you. Again, these are more like headings here and more of a heading than actual item block. This item here is an actual part, an actual item that will have video board and will have audio to it. So we will leave this with the duration, and we know it's got 2 minutes. And let's say this is, let's say it's a graphic. So we'll just go with a CG and take ID, whatever, 4001. And game day sponsor, we'll say what it is. And we color it blue. We highlight it blue. All right. Audio is now our host mic. And let's go with the music bed. All right. And then from there, maybe Jesse will continue on. And let's do shuffle. A little shuffle. Let's do that with the contestant. And we will get a camera on this one. Camera 4, our wireless, can be with the host. And we will also have a graphic. We could go CG. If it's like a Ross Expression or something, that would be handy. That's how we would run ours. Maybe like for ours, we have a box and box. We go split screen because ours is ultra wide for something like this with contestant. You might have a small video board. It might be stuffy, so you might go camera shot to graphic, and both of them take over the full board, back to camera shot, whatever. It doesn't matter how you execute, but whatever you might want to do. If it's a box and box, let's call it box and box. 2 box and box. Yeah. We'll need a little bit of scripting for each. Game day sponsor is thank you to tonight's game day sponsor company. Our team appreciates your support. Yeah, that literally would not be the read, but that's the read for this hypothetical game. And then also in the shuffle, we might want to say where it is as well. So from section 116. Perfect. Host and contestant. I am here with whoever. You wouldn't know, I guess. They would fill it in. And he is going to try his or her luck and see if they can can follow along with these items as they get shuffled. Are you ready? And yeah, basically they win, they get it, they don't, they probably still get the prize. All right, so then we got, let's say this is a minute long, and we still have 30 seconds. So maybe here we might just want to add some more, say we want to add some fan cam, some more fan cam. I can just take my block here. Oh, look at that. So this one's actually going to be cams, not. There we go. So here. And this is just going to be 30 seconds. 30 seconds with 30 seconds to go is 0. If this was to be 29 seconds, there would be 1 second left on your timeout. Doesn't matter. 1 second, you're going to get pushed either way for 1 second. But yeah, that's essentially how I schedule TV timeouts as well. Halftime's a lot like the pregame. What you can do is let's say this is the bottom of the script or somewhere you want to put in, you can have some as happens, maybe some as happens, which is let's say a goal or touchdown or whatever. You can have a little sequence here. Maybe it's sponsored, and here sometimes I'll put my sponsors. Say the goal sponsored by whoever, McDonald's. Why not? I like to put my sponsors at the end. That way, it's just easy when other people need to look at it. Hey, did you get that McDonald's goal item? You can quickly just search where they go. Especially when we start running into hundreds of partners, it's just easier putting the partner's name in there somewhere. So I always put it at the very end. Shuffle with contestant. If this is sponsored as well, Subway. There you go. So Subway. Oh, I do have a Subway in there already. It's just easier for finding things later. Again, it doesn't matter if you're on ShoFlo, Excel, Google Sheets. It doesn't matter. Same principles apply. Here. You can have a whole sequence. You can have you shoot the guy who scored the goal, and then you get a couple fans and into the replay, and the replay's got the sponsor logo of the goal, and you got the PA copy. That goal scored. That McDonald's goal scored by whatever. So yeah, you can have that drop in stuff as happens here, as many as you have. But yeah, that's essentially how I script out a show. Now, a few other things I like to do. 2 things. When I first script, after I'm done my script, I like to add a cover page, so a little title sheet. And I learned this from my old boss at the Winnipeg Jets, and I always liked it. When I saw it, I thought it was really neat looking. Made the script just look official, and it gave it a lot of. I think it just got a little more respect from the people who had one, and it just kind of seemed cool. I got the official game script. Like, it just seems like a cool thing. So it's kind of that, official, feels good presence. But I do think that, people, you put a lot of time into it and you want it to look professional. Having a nice professional game cover, it does make it seem professional. It does seem like those hours that you sunk into the script, it feels like a complete product. The other thing I like to do is very practical, and it's about eliminating mistakes. It's about eliminating questions that people have. Um, it, I like to make a map. So what I'll do is, if you have a big stadium or even a big arena, or small arena, it doesn't matter. If you can tell people where stuff's happening, like from section 116, I might even map it out early and show the subway shuffle with contestants happening from section 116. I'll put a little box around 116, try and map out exactly where it is. And I'll do this for all of our promotions, and pretty much anywhere like a promo team would need to be, or a camera guy would need to get to, or yeah, so those two things I think go a long way. Get the script, put those two things in, staple it all together, and your script should start looking pretty nice. Another thing that I would recommend is that staple. I went to a game once, and it was not my game. It was actually before I even produced my first game. It was when I got hired to do it, and I didn't know anything, and I was lucky to get an invite to one of the teams in our league was doing a alumni game, and I was sitting in their production room, and their announcer was about to get to the team introduction, and something happened where he dropped his script and pages went everywhere. Now, his script wasn't stapled, and there was no page numbers on the script. So the panic and the scramble that occurred was crazy. There was stuff, said, and things happened that there was a lot of chaos that didn't need to happen if it was staple and if the pages were numbered. If one of the two happened, he could get to where he was, but it wasn't easy, and it was a bit of a delay, and things happen, but eliminating avoidable mistakes is the biggest thing that you can do as a game producer, or anybody running any event. Maybe you're not putting a game together, but you're putting an event together. Same principles apply. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you're still sticking around this long, I hope you were able to pick up something. If you were, please let me know in the comments if there's anything you want to know more about or see, or if you have better ways of doing things, please let me know so that I can learn. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys for checking this video out. Please, please let me know what you think. Thanks a lot.